It's the Devy Digest, powered by league winners. I'm Andy, and we're talking Big 12 Conference preview. We cover all this and more after the intro. What is going on, everyone? In today's episode, we are finishing up our Big 12 Conference preview. Now, let's get right into it. In the last episode, we stopped at Iowa State. The next program that we are talking about, the Kansas Jayhawks. They were 9-4 last year with the fourth-ranked recruiting class in the Big 12. Now, their highest profile recruit is running back Harry Stewart. He's a four-star in the composites, 5'10", 206 pounds. He's a really good player, a fun player to watch. He's a good returner, good lateral movement. He's someone that will fight through contact, has good burst. He is a capable receiver. I do like that. He is a downhill runner, does have good contact balance, and does have some nice play strength. Now, the Jayhawks, they don't really gain anyone out of the portal. They don't really lose anyone out of the portal. It's just mainly just depth pieces, but they do have some Devy assets to talk about. First of all, is running back Devin Neal. Now, he would have been my RB1 in the 2024 NFL draft class if he would have declared. Now, he comes back for another season, and he's always been efficient with his touches. He's a good receiver with soft hands, good lateral agility to evade and elude with good contact balance. What I do like about him is he is someone that is pretty good as a pass protector. Now, this upcoming season, I do want to see him carry more of the workload. Kansas typically uses a two-back system. It's always been him and Daniel Highshaw. But I do think Devin Neal is the better running back, and I do think with Jalen Daniels, if he's healthy, I think all systems will be go for Devin Neal. Now, a fringe Devy potential is that quarterback, Jalen Daniels. I say fringe because he does have some upside, but he doesn't get the volume that we like from a quarterback, and he is coming back from a serious back injury that pretty much cost him the entire season. Now, he should be full go. He should be ready to go, and with Kansas, they will be relying on Jalen Daniels to carry the passing game. Now, for a CFF asset that I kind of like is wide receiver Lawrence Arnold. He's likely available in your supplemental drafts, and if he had better quarterback play last year, he would have had better numbers. Of his 44 receptions, he had 782 yards and 6 touchdowns. I think Kansas overall as a team can very well compete for a Big 12 championship this year. So there are some high expectations in Kansas. They are building or remodeling their stadium, so they will be playing some of their games at Arrowhead this year. So it should be pretty fun for the program. The next team that we are talking about is the Kansas State Jayhawks. They were also 9-4 last year, and they have the 5th-ranked recruiting class in the Big 12. Their highest profile recruits are wide receiver Jock Spradley Demps. He's a 3-star in the composites. Another receiver coming in is Trey Davis. He's also a 3-star. He has some nice traits that I think could work at Kansas State. And then they bring in running back John Price, who's also a 3-star in the composites. Now, in the portal, they were able to grab wide receiver Dante Cephas from Penn State. He spent a year at Penn State, didn't find the success that he was wanting, and now he goes to Kansas State. Now, they do lose a couple of players due to the portal. They lose Will Howard to Ohio State, but technically Kansas State chose Avery Johnson and pretty much told Will Howard, hey, don't let the door hit you on the way out. They do also lose running back Trayshawn Ward to Boston College. Now let's go right into their Devy asset, and that is running back DJ Giddens. He is 6'1", 212 pounds. He's coming off a fantastic season when he was splitting some time with Trayshawn Ward. Now, he finished the season with 223 carries for 1,226 yards and 10 touchdowns. He also had 29 receptions, and you do like that from a running back to have that receiving profile. Now, this upcoming season, he should get a bigger workload, and he ended the season with 4 straight 100-yard games. He does have a good combination of size and speed, and he is a legit Devy asset. Now, a fringe Devy potential guy is going to be quarterback Avery Johnson. Now, with Avery Johnson, he was Kansas State's highest recruit ever. They were able to get him, and they played him as a true freshman. He had a game last year where he had 5 rushing touchdowns in one game. He didn't even play the entire game. Now, what he brings to the table, he's a very good runner. Very good runner. He has a good combination of being that mobile quarterback, and he does bring some power to him. And you wouldn't think that with his frame. He, I believe, is around 185 pounds, so he's gained about 15 pounds since his freshman, when he came in as a freshman. But he does bring some power. He does bring some elusiveness as a runner, and he's a very good runner. Now, what he does need to improve on is being a passer. He has a very awkward throwing mechanic, and it's just not very appealing to the eyes. It's just very slow or herky-jerky, wind-up-y kind of a wind-up. It's okay for now, but if Kansas State can get him to develop a better throwing motion, get it tighter where he doesn't take what is essentially a second and a half to get the ball out, he could have a better potential as a passer and then become an overall better Devy asset. But he does have that fringe potential, and he is the clear-cut starter. Now, his main weapon is going to be Jace Brown. He's likely going to be a nice CFF asset. He's also probably going to be available in your supplemental drafts in your C2C leagues. Now, as a true freshman last year, he had 27 receptions, 437 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He is on the small side. He's 5'11", 174 pounds, but he is very quick and kind of like that jitterbug. Kansas State, they bring back a very nice team. They also do have a good secondary, and that defense should help them keep them in games. So both Kansas and Kansas State have a very nice team, and the state of Kansas should be looking forward to the upcoming college season. The next team that we want to talk about is Oklahoma State. They finished the season 10-4, and there was a time when you probably couldn't believe it. They started the season very slow. They lost some pretty bad games, but as soon as they gave the ball to Ollie Gordon, they started winning games. Now, they have the 10th ranked recruiting class in the Big 12. Their highest profile recruit is wide receiver Trey Griffiths. He's a 3-star in the composites, and they also do have a quarterback in Malachi Smith, who's a 3-star in the composites. I do kind of like him, and I think he has a potential to be a CFF asset, not this year, but I think in 2025, and we'll get to him later on. But out of the portal, they were able to get AJ Green from Arkansas. The only thing that they really lose are depth pieces, so I'm not really concerned about that. Their Devy asset is running back Ollie Gordon. Now, last year, he had a tremendous season. He had over 1,400 yards. Just, the stats. They were fantastic. And this year, what I want to see him develop is a trait that will carry himself to the NFL. With Oklahoma State, they run that system where it's very running back friendly. But what I lack to see in Ollie Gordon is that one trait that will sustain him going to the NFL. Is he that elusive guy? No. But can he be elusive? Yeah. Is he a breakaway runner? Not really, but can he? Yeah. Is he a power back? Not really, but can he run through guys and get first down on a 3rd and 2? Yeah. Is he a great receiver out of the backfield? No, but can he catch passes? Yeah. So he does everything good. I want to see him excel at one thing. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in Ollie Gordon. For him to be a potential RB1, RB2, RB3 of the class, he needs to develop a trait at the next level. Now, some fringe Devy potential is wide receiver Rashad Owens. He's 6'2", 219 pounds. Had a really good season last year. 63 receptions, 895 yards, 5 touchdowns. Had a 2.23 yards per route run. And what we're looking for is anything over 2 is pretty good. That's what we want. We want to build on that. He had a 12.7-yard A dot. And I think he has the potential to become the wide receiver one in that room. As a CFF asset, as we mentioned, Malachi Smith, probably not this year, but I think next year, he has the chance to overtake that room, and he has a chance to become possibly a 4-year starter, maybe a 3-year starter. So I think he's someone that in your C2C supplemental drafts, you might want to think about in the 15th round. If you're in one of those unlimited waiver leagues, you probably don't need to draft him. You can probably take him probably towards the end of the season when your super seniors are out of eligibility and you aren't able to trade them if you're out of contention. If you're on your path to winning a championship, it might be harder to get him. So if you have your weakest link in your roster, you might want to get rid of him and probably target Malachi Smith. So he's someone that you want to write down in those unlimited leagues, and towards the end of the season, start picking him up. Now, the next team that we want to talk about is TCU Horned Frogs. They were 5-7 this past season. They have the 3rd-ranked recruiting class in the Big 12. Now, their highest profile recruits coming in is wide receiver Geico Baker. I do apologize if I mispronounced that name. He's a 4-star in the composites. He's 6'2", 170 pounds. Now, what he is, he's a quick, twitchy, explosive, speedy receiver. Has a very good step, and he gets the top speed very quickly, and I do like that. He does have strong hands. When you're watching him, he runs like a gazelle. When he's out there, he's a fun guy to watch. My only issue with not with him, more with the program. The past 2 seasons, they brought in a high-profile recruit in each of the past 2 seasons. This past season, Cordell Russell, and the year before, Jordan Hudson. Both guys, with Russell, he was a little bit raw, but with Jordan Hudson, he was a really good recruit. Russell was a 4-star, if not a borderline 5-star. So these were 2 guys that were highly thought of. They didn't see the field at all for TCU, and they both have transferred out. Jordan Hudson went to SMU, where he found some success on limited targets, and Cordell Russell is now at Colorado in a jammed-up wide receiving room. So that's the concern: does the coaching staff have the ability to develop these guys? Do they have the trust in playing these freshmen? I don't know. I mean, they went in the portal and they grabbed some guys, and we'll talk about that later on. But with TCU, we've seen TCU wide receivers go in the draft, and they haven't fared well. So if you are staying away from all TCU wide receivers, I would not blame you. But he is someone just to kind of take note. Another player that they bring in is quarterback Haas Haney. He's a 4-star in the composites, 5'11", 185 pounds, being a quarterback. What he does well is he has good ball placement, and he's able to make throws. He doesn't need to set his feet. He throws well while he's rolling out. Good accuracy. He's a very electric runner. He is very good as a runner. He's someone who's fun to watch. For those of you that know Damon Williams, he is one of my favorites. He's going to Washington. He is someone that is he's on the shorter side, very electric runner, very good arm. He's someone that can just sling it. The ball just zips out of his hands. He is lightning fast as a runner. Gets the top speed within a couple of steps. His running ability reminds me of Kyler Murray. Haas Haney is kind of like a poor man's version of Damon Williams. So he is someone that will take off and run without any questions. He'll be electric for CFF purposes. He does have some frame issues. He is thinly built, but he's a very good runner. He runs a 4.48, I believe. So he is someone that is going to be a fun player to watch when he gets on the field. Another recruit that they bring in is running back Jeremy Payne. He's a 3-star in the composites. He's 5'10", 165 pounds. So he does have that lighter frame. But even with the lighter frame, he does have good contact balance. Now, he is more of a receiving back. He does have good hands. He catches the ball outside his frame, has good vision, really good speed. He's a very nimble runner, has that lateral quickness that you want, will make defenders miss in a phone booth. He's a shifty player. His tape is fun, I'm not going to lie. He's very athletic, but at 165, you kind of wonder what his upside is going to be. Even if he adds on 10, 15 pounds this year, he's going to be at 180 pounds. So you kind of wonder with that build if he'll, withhold the rigors of 20 plus carries a game, because we know TCU likes to lean on a running back and give them 20 plus carries a game. Now they bring in another running back, and that's Nathaniel Palmer. He's also a 3-star in the composites. He's 5'10", 180 pounds. He has good speed. He does have some good lateral agility that I do like. He is a fluid athlete. He also has some good hands too. So they brought in guys with good hands and guys that are shifty. So I do like that. Between the two, Palmer is more of that downhill runner. So if you want to equate him to a jersey comp, he's more of the Amani Bailey between the two. Now in the portal, they were able to grab some guys. They grabbed Eric McAllister from Boise State. They also grabbed true freshman, now sophomore, second-year guy, wide receiver Braylon James from Notre Dame. They also get tight end Drake Dabney from Baylor. They do lose a couple of guys as well due to the portal. They lose Chandler Morris to North Texas. Quarterback Chandler Morris goes to North Texas. Wide receiver DJ Allen goes to UTSA. And then the aforementioned Cordell Russell goes to Colorado. Now, for me, they don't really have any Devy assets. They don't really have any fringe Devy assets. The main CFF asset, I would say, is whoever's going to be the main running back. We know with TCU, they like to lean on someone. Last year, it was between Amani Bailey and Trey Sanders. Amani Bailey took the starting job at Colorado. He fumbled. Trey Sanders went in, was effective. It looked like Trey Sanders might be the guy, but the coaching staff brought back in Amani Bailey, and then Amani Bailey just took over that room. So Trey Sanders is back, but they have a freshman from last year, so now a second-year guy, Cam Cook. He was a pretty good recruit, has nice film on him. He's someone that can challenge Trey Sanders for that main running back room, but I would say Trey Sanders, based on seniority, should be the guy. I mean, he's going to be in the second year in the program. He got some run last year. He'll probably get the majority of the carries, but Trey Sanders is someone that has trouble staying healthy. He does have a history of injury issues, and if that does happen, Cam Cook will step right in and take that lead job from him. Now, wide receiver Eric McAllister, he's a fringe CFF play. Savion Williams is still there, and they like him last year. So it might be a receiving room where at the end of the day, they both get around maybe 13 or 15 points a game for you, and that might be fringe flex worthy. So that is something that is a possible concern. We know they use their tight ends. Jared Wiley last year was used, and they bring in Drake Dabney. I believe that he will be the tight end one, so he's someone that could be interesting there. And then quarterback Haas Haney, more for 2025. I don't think they'll start him this year. So he's more for a next year play. And what I talked about stashing guys, late in the season. I don't think that would pertain to Haas Haney. There is enough hype in him that I do believe he will go in these C2C sub drafts. I think he'll probably go in the range of maybe the 7th through the 10th round. So he's someone that's likely going to be picked up. So if you do like him, you're going to have to spend draft capital to get him. The next thing that we are talking about is Texas Tech. The Texas Tech Red Raiders at 7-6 last year, they have the best recruiting class in the Big 12, and that is largely due to wide receiver Micah Hudson. 5-star wide receiver, the highest rated recruit ever grabbed by Texas Tech. He is 5'11", 195 pounds. He did have surgery on his knee, so he will be out for spring. But from all indications, he should be back well before fall camp. He is an electric player. He creates in space, and he is a threat in space. He gets a top speed within strides, very good lateral agility, a very shifty wide receiver. He's also a very good route runner, and everything that he does is effortless. He has great body control, tracks the ball well. He is my wide receiver one of the entire freshman class, and he is someone that I do rank higher than Jeremiah Smith. He is someone Texas Tech should be peppering with targets this year. They also bring in quarterback Will Hammond. He's a 4-star in the composites. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. Now, he does have good ball placement. I do like that about him. He's also an accurate thrower, and he's able to make plays on the run, so he does well with off-platform plays. Now, the main thing that I am concerned about is his arm talent. His arm strength is average at best, and he is able to layer throws. I just wonder with his arm talent, how much of a Devy bringing is Code Williams. He is someone that I do like. He's a 3-star in the composites. He's 5'9", 175 pounds. With Taj Brooks coming back for another year, this will give Williams a year into that strength and conditioning program where he can add some weight to that frame and hopefully get up to the 185, 190. Now, what I do like about him is his lateral movement. I like that he does have contact balance. He does not go down easy. He fights through tackles, and he does have functional play strength that I do like. He is a capable receiver, and he is a good athlete. Now, he also has lined up out wide at wide receiver in high school. So he is someone that could be a third down back for Texas Tech. I don't think he'll be much in his true freshman year just because of his frame, but he is someone that has a 3-down back potential as a future, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does see some action in mop-up duty in games where Texas Tech is blowing teams out, or the inverse if they're getting blown out. Now, in the portal, they were able to grab a couple of guys. They grabbed tight end Jalen Conyers from Arizona State, wide receiver Caleb Douglas from Florida, and wide receiver Josh Kelly from Washington State. Now, they do lose a couple of guys in the portal. They lose mainly a trio of wide receivers. Tyler King to Wyoming, Miles Price to Indiana, and Jaron Bradley to Boston College. The Devy assets that they have, I'll say running back Taj Brooks is a Devy asset. I wouldn't say a high-profile Devy asset. I think he's more on that 4th, 5th round range. I'd probably say he's coming off a fantastic season where he rushed for almost 1,600 yards, had 10 rushing touchdowns, 29 receptions. He's 5'10", 230 pounds. I don't know the number offhand, so I do apologize, but I believe he had like over 70 missed forced tackles. It was a really good rate. During the college football season, he led that number pretty much all season long. Taj Brooks does have some traits that I do like. I don't think he's one of those guys that'll go day one. Don't think he'll go day two just because the running back class, if everybody hits and everyone leaves, it's going to be a deep running back class. So he might get, pushed down because of that. But talent wise, he's got fourth round talent written all over him. The other Devy assets, wide receiver Micah Hudson. Look, he's going to lead the team in receptions. He's going to lead the team in yards as a true freshman. This guy is fantastic. And I am looking forward to seeing him step on the field. And I'm looking forward to seeing Texas Tech play. Fringe Devy potential is quarterback Will Hammond. Talked about his arm strength being his main weakness. He does make up for it in other aspects. He's a very smart quarterback. He's able to maneuver defenders and manipulate them with his eyes. So he does have that nuance to his game. But at the end of the day, that arm talent is going to be the question mark. Now, the next team that I want to talk about, the Utah Utes. They are 8-5. They have the sixth ranked recruiting class in the Big 12. This will be their first year in the conference. And their highest profile recruit is quarterback Isaac Wilson. He is Zach Wilson's brother. He's a 4-star in the composites. He's 5'11", 190 pounds. Now, what I like about him is he's got moxie, just like Zach. He will climb the pocket. He's not afraid to run around. He will make plays with his arm, and he will let people know about it. He will let people know that he made a nice play. Now, with his mobility to buy time, he is someone that can run. He will manipulate the pocket. He will get out and scramble. He does well throwing on the run. He does have a good arm. He is decisive, and I do like his good ball placement. Now, he throws into tight windows because he has that moxie and that belief in his arm. That can get him into trouble at the next level, but I do like that he has that moxie to him, and he's also able to layer throws. By all indication, he should sit behind Cam Rising this year, try to be a sponge, soak everything up while he can, while Cam Rising is there, and then next year he'll be the guy. Now, they also bring in running back Hunter Andrews. He's a 3-star in the composites. They bring in a couple of wide receivers, Zacharias Williams and David Washington, both 3-star guys. In the portal, they were able to grab some guys that quite possibly can make some impact. Now, they bring in wide receiver Dorian Singer from USC, wide receiver Tayshawn Lyons from Washington, tight end Carson Rhines from UCLA, and running back Anthony Woods from Idaho. They also lose a quartet of players. They lose wide receiver Mikey Matthews to Cal, quarterback Bryson Barnes leaves for Utah State, quarterback Nate Johnson leaves to Vandy, running back Jaquinnen Jackson is now at Arkansas. Now, for a Devy asset, I'm going to say they don't really have anyone as a Devy asset, but they do have some fringe Devy guys. Now, tight end Brent Kuthi has been cleared, and he's a playmaker. If he can stay healthy on the field, and he can make it through an entire season, he will be picked in the NFL draft. He does have that talent. At wide receiver, I do like Dorian Singer. I think he's going to be looking to make a bounce back from his Arizona form. This past season at USC, it was just too tough of a room for him to break into. Now he goes to Utah. He should be the number 1 target for Cam Rising. Now, wide receiver Tayshawn Lyons, he's likely available in your supplemental drafts. Likely, I want to say, because he was a high 4-star in the composites, but I don't think anyone expected him to make the rotation last year at Washington. So he might have gone undrafted. He might be a free agent in your supplemental drafts. And he finds a new home after being buried at Washington. And he could be a boundary receiver, a guy to create some spacing, be that deep threat target, be that speed receiver, to kind of clear up everything in the middle. And he's someone that he could flash with Cam Rising there, with Cam Rising throwing the deep ball to him. Quarterback Isaac Wilson, he's a fringe Devy guy. Now, yeah, he's 5'11", 190 pounds. I get that, but he does have that fringe Devy side to him that in your supplemental drafts in round 9 to 12. I would kind of consider him if there's no other viable CFF options, or if you're still trying to plug away and getting some Devy guys. He's someone that I will look at. Now, Carson Ryan is someone that I really like. He is coming in from UCLA. He's a very athletic tight end. The issue is Brent Kuthey's there. He's going to be the tight end one. Utah does play two tight end plays, and Carson Ryan I expect to be the next guy in. He's someone that I really like. I really like his tape. Really like what I see from him. Now he goes from UCLA to Utah. If Brett Kuthey gets hurt, could be all systems go for Carson Ryan. Now for CFF asset, I'll say running back Micah Bernard. He's likely available in your supplemental drafts. He only played 2 games last year. He missed the majority of the season due to an injury, but he was able to come back for the bowl game. So he should be all systems go. And now he's going to be the starter. He's going to be the starter. Because he was the starter this past season. When they started the season with Florida coming in, he started the season over Jaquin Jackson. So he's someone that the coaches trust, the coaches like, and he will be the main running back. Quarterback Cam Rising, he's going to be a CFF asset. This will be his last season. He's coming back from a torn ACL. From all indications, he is ready to go. And so looking forward to his final season at Utah. Now, the next team that we are talking about are the West Virginia Mountaineers. They were 9-4 this past season with the 8th ranked recruiting class in the Big 12. Now, their highest profile recruit that they bring in is my dark horse of the entire class, and that is wide receiver Day Farmer. He's a 3-star in the composites. 5'11", 160 pounds, and I will go into full detail later on in the summer about him, but he is someone that I really do like. I think he's got potential to be a big-time home run hitter. He is a fluid athlete, very good body control and contact balance. He's a two-way player. He is someone that missed some time in his final season, and it cost him to be lower in the services. But I like his play style. I like what he brings to the table. He is a threat to take it to the house with every touch. He isn't coming in until the summer, and I will save my full rundown on him later this year. But do not forget the name Day Farmer. With West Virginia, they also bring in running back Dior Hubbard. He's a 3-star in the composites. Running back Trayvon Dunbar is also a 3-star in the composites. And quarterback Khalil Wilkins, he's a 3-star. I kind of like his tape. I think he's got a chance to take over, not this year, but when Garrett Green's gone, I think he's got a chance to take over. His tape's pretty fun. He throws a nice football. I really do like that. Now in the portal, they were able to grab Jaden Bray from Oklahoma State. They don't really lose much. All they really lose are some depth pieces at wide receiver. For some Devy asset, I will say Devy asset is Jaheim White. This past season, as a true freshman, he carried the ball 109 times for 842 yards, 4 touchdowns, had 5 receptions. He was someone that was not expected to be the guy. It was supposed to be C.J. Donaldson, but Jaheim White just went in, and he was a player that West Virginia just could not take off the field. He was just a guy that they had to play. Now, he is 5'7", 192 pounds, so he does need to add on to his frame. So that is him. The Sensei Day Farmer. He's a Devy asset. So that is the next guy. For a fringe Devy potential, wide receiver Hudson Clement. He is someone that as a true freshman, kind of broke out towards the end of the season. He had 22 receptions for 480 yards, 4 touchdowns. He played well, down the stretch. He is 6'1", 199 pounds. As a true freshman, he played well. I think he takes one of the boundary positions this upcoming season. He had a 3.08 yards per route run. Like I said, anything over 2, we like. Anything over 2.5, we're pretty excited. Anything over 3, that's pretty eye-catching. And he also had a 15-yard A-dot. For a CFF asset, that is going to be quarterback Garrett Green. He completed 147 of his 278 passes for 2,406 yards for 16 touchdowns. He also ran it for 772 yards and had 13 touchdowns. CJ Donaldson is there. He ran for 798 yards for 11 touchdowns. They used him mainly more on like short area kind of runs. He was a converted tight end. And then the last guy that I kind of like is tight end Cole Taylor. He's likely available in your supplemental drafts. He caught 35 passes for 444 yards and 4 touchdowns this past season. He is 6'7", 260 pounds. And that wraps up the Big 12 conference. So we made through one conference. We got 3 more to go, but we're not done yet. If you like what you've seen here, my content, my audio and video content can be found every Sunday and Wednesday with the Devy Digest Show powered by League Winners. They air on Spotify and Apple every Monday and Thursday. On Mondays, I host the Future Phenoms with Nino Brown and S.C. Romero. They air on Spotify and Apple every Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I do the Welcome to the Big House through the CFB Nation. They air on Spotify and Apple a couple of days later. For my written content, you can find them through the League Winners. Every Monday, we do a 2024 NFL rookie to get you ready for your rookie drafts that you have coming up. And then every Friday, we do the Devy Digest Freshman Friday Player Profile. Every Wednesday and Saturday, we do content on Utah State, and BYU football, where we're trying to bring you some exclusive content down the line. Now, we'll be back next week. But before we go, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Comment, subscribe, and you can follow me at Andy_Fam1. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, give us a rate and review. And we'll see you next time on the Devy Digest.